Hi guys, a warm welcome to this recording. The purpose of this session is to demonstrate how to upload your CPD certificates onto the Kotive system. Now, as you know by now, that the CPD cycle expires annually on the 31st of May, and the determination of fit and proper requirements provides that representatives and key individuals should provide the evidence of their completed and verifiable CPD hours to their FSP within 15 days of the expiry date. The FSP is then required to compile a CPD report within 30 days of the expiry date. Now, I would like to thank you for taking responsibility and doing what it takes to ensure that your personal records are updated and securely maintained on the Kotive system in order for your FSP to be able to track and monitor your progress right throughout the CPD cycle. So I'd like to share a few brief points with you on the uploading of CPD certificates. The first important thing that I'd like to bring to your attention is that CPD certificates must be uploaded one by one and not all in the same entry. Okay, there's good reasons for this. Firstly, each certificate is required to be separately listed on the FSP CPD report at the end of the cycle in order for the authority or any product supplier or any interested person or party to be able to confirm that the FSP's key individuals and reps are indeed fit and proper. The second thing is the internal and the external compliance officers are required to monitor and perform spot checks on the content of the CPD certificates against the populated information. And as you can just imagine that this activity is extremely hampered when certificates are uploaded on a single entry. And therefore, FSPs will need to insist on one by one uploading by their representatives and KIs. Okay, there is one exception. The only time when a single entry will be allowed is if the person is a member of FPI, for instance, and they upload the FPI schedule of verifiable CPD hours, which is naturally, it will consist of one entry only. Right, so that is the only exception to the rule. Secondly, preparing for the upload, it's important to make sure that your certificates are neatly filed in a folder on your documents drive on your computer. Right, so I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I mean when I say that. Quick share. Right, so if I look at my browser, my document browser, my certificates are neatly listed, and it's a very good practice to label them consistently. For instance, to have the date on the entry, to have the topic of the CPD that was attended, the event that was attended, and also the training provider. And then lastly, the number of CPD hours completed is a very good practice to have that in place. Right, now I'm going to be demonstrating the upload of certificates. So the first thing that's important is to open your certificate so that you can actually see the content of the certificate, and then also to have your Kotive system, to be logged into the Kotive system and to have your personal profile on the system to be able to view that. Right. Just to bring something to your attention, the top right-hand side of the page consists of a gauge that gives us a calculation of each of the cycles, how many hours we completed in each of the cycles, of the CPD cycles. Right, so I'm going to just, I'm just going to go to a different profile just to show you how to actually perform the upload of a certificate. Again, I am in the personal profile and I can go down to the right, to the bottom of my page where I find the CPD registry. Right, by clicking the Add CPD Training button, it opens the window and I can populate my information. So the type of CPD activity or training completed, there is the name or the topic of this event was the SA Mutual Evaluation Report presented by the FIC. So I'm just going to type that in. Right, the next thing is to be very clear on which professional body was responsible for accrediting the course or the event. And in this case, it's the Compliance Institute of South Africa. And I can find that very nicely and very easily on my list. The next thing is to populate the training provider. In this case, the training provider was the Compliance Institute. So I can just put in the abbreviation or the full name, whichever is preferred. And then I can upload the certificate. So I'm going to choose files to upload by clicking the green button and selecting the file that, or the document that needs to be uploaded and matched to the specific certificate. Right, by clicking the upload button, the document is then uploaded and it appears on my window right above the green button. The next field is an extremely important field as people often get this wrong. This is a numeric field, which means that only numeric digits are allowed in this field. So we want to insert the number of hours and we don't want to add any text, otherwise the field will not be able to tally the total of our hours correctly. So to refer back to our certificate, we can see that the number of hours is 3, and we insert that. So we don't add any text or anything. We know that this field only allows numeric digits. The next is also important, and this is our completion date. So now I can see, because I labeled my document in a certain way by adding the date of completion, it's easy to see it was on the 10th of November 2021. So if I click in the date field, I'm going to go back 1 year to November the 10th, 2021. And now my window has been populated comprehensively and I can save. So now that I've saved, I notice that there is no entry in my CPD registry. That is because the system needs to be refreshed before it can show the new data that was entered. So I go up to my browser and I select the refresh button to refresh my page. And then note that my tally now shows that I have completed 3 hours for the current cycle. If I move down to the registry, I can also see that my entry now shows on the registry. Right. One more thing that I'd like to share with you, and that is the archive facility. So there is an archive facility on the system. Let's say a representative or a key individual resigns from an FSP. The FSP or that representative can arrange for and request the archiving of their information. This will secure the information for a period of 5 years. There is a cost to this facility. There's a once-off nominal fee of 500 Rand plus VAT that is payable, and that will mean that the person can get all your uploaded documents and your populated information will be made available on request at any time during the 5-year period. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for helping us and for uploading all your records, your CPD records. We are very grateful that you do that on behalf of your FSP. And from us, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day.